Or do you have a point apiece, a fair result today or not?
I don't know, it depends where, you know, do you talk about chances, do you talk about possession, do you talk about penetration? The result's what it is.
In terms of the goal you got, Sam Walker on penalty duties today, is he your regular penalty taker now, because it was a neat finish?
Yeah, well, he has been since we took Warby off them. And for some reason Frank took the penalty in one game, which and credit to Sam and his professional. I mean, he didn't want to get into an argument with Frank about it, but yeah, Sam's the one who practices, and you can see that quality today. I
know you'd be disappointed with the goal you conceded coming from a set piece. How did you read that one?
Well, it's not just the fact because I think you get players, managers who think tiddlywinks football, and then I think chess. So I look back to a poor foul. I'm not sure if it was a foul. And then when our structure was poor, and Asante's getting free in the box and having a shot, and then we conceding the corner from that. We know our strengths on set plays, but we also know our weaknesses. So I was disappointed we didn't deal with the thing. But like, credit to them if they found a soft spot in our defensive makeup, and credit to them. But I was really disappointed with the layers that led up to that.
I know Ben Hinchlife's got the man of the match from the sponsors today, and they did have one or two chances in the second half, but also you must be looking at some gilt-edged chances for your own team. Matty Warburton hitting the post in the first half. Scott Duxbury could have won it, couldn't he, with a header late on?
Yeah, and then you're missing out the chances that Frank had, and Adam Thomas on the inside of the full-back getting a shot. Adam Thomas getting behind the back four, and all he plays the ball across the 6-yard box, and for some reason our number 9's not there. All the stuff that we work on, and this is where we're at a stage now where we can't. There's no excuses. We've been doing a lot of work on the training ground, and I'm seeing players who still play their own game and don't take anything out. You know, the one thing that Jason Oswald said to me when he walked away from here, he said, you know what, I've learned so much about crosses and what works and what doesn't work. And he scored 12 goals from near post crosses on the deck, and he's took that away with him. Whereas we've got some players who still don't understand the value of that cross. That side of it's disappointed me. We're at a stage now where we've been coaching the lads, and I'm looking is that we can't talk about potential anymore. We've got to talk about players fulfilling tactics and potential. You've got to be taking stuff off the training ground and delivering. And if you start making the game up, it's bad enough when players don't. You know, there's big. Murray Price, who was coach to Jack Charlton, was my assistant at Dundalk, and he used to have a great saying that without techniques, there's no tactics. So you can't work on goal kicks, you can't work on free kicks, you can't work on corners unless people can deliver the ball where you work on. And so I don't know if it's the stage or whether it's just that we've got players who are just not doing what we work on the training ground. They seem to be able to do on the training ground. You know, summed up with Dan Cowan taking the free kick and kicking out of the ground. And he's wondering why he's on free kicks. But last season I was calling Master Lequeta every time he got the ball there and was delivering balls. I remember Lancaster away, so many games where he delivered the ball. And if players haven't got that technique to do something that's a dead ball, then but look, these are the things that we have to iron out. There's a few players who need to tidy up on the techniques, and there's a few players that need to learn from training, learn from their experience, and learn from the game management. I'm having to say the same things to the same players over and over again, and I think we're getting to a point now where my patience is running out with a few, and unless we start seeing a few delivering more than their potential, then I think the only way we're going to kick on is to freshen the group up with some players who've got the nous and the quality.
Having said that, you finished the game strongly, I think, which will probably give you some encouragement today. And as I say, Duxbury having that chance as well. And I think your substitutions helped. Niall Bell certainly made a difference when he came on. It was aggressive, and you changed the shape slightly as well. Well,
I didn't really change the shape, but we were trying to play quite wide up front and to try to get the Adam and Darren a little bit wider and get between, you know, create a little bit of space. Yeah. But Ben was either kicking out of play or wasn't picking the right option, so decided then a little bit late on to maybe get them tucked in a bit more and get the fullbacks out. And but we shouldn't be getting to that stage really. We should be able to get out from the back and work our way up the pitch, whether that be goal kicks, throw-ins, free kicks. And I thought there's there's a lot of players, like I said, I don't think they really think about what they're doing and what we're trying to achieve and why we're doing it. And I think that the qualities in football with the players that we brought through, the Pilkingtons and the Ashwin, they actually sort of absorbed what you were, not just what, but why. Why are we doing it this way? Why are we... and then once they got the why, they start then becoming thinking footballers. I think Confucius has a saying that you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day, but if you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for life. And I think we've got too many players that we're giving fish to and they just don't know how to fish.
Just looking ahead to Spennymoor, I don't know how many fish you'll have in the pond on that day, because it's a big ask, isn't it, going up there midweek? It's one of your games in hand, of course, but they've just spanked Alfreton with 7 today. I mean, how do you approach that game now?
Well, like I said, I was aware of the result. I went to watch Alfreton on Tuesday night, and they looked like they had just a little bit too much for Ashton. Ashton had good football inside, and Alfreton stayed strong, wore Ashton down, and typical of Billy's teams, they score from a set play and then just played off the bits that they get from their physicality. So I don't think I've seen the real Alfreton, but Alfreton have, if you look at the last since they lost Tom Denton, they've not been in great form. But that's a surprise result. I mean, we played Chester today, and they got beaten 8-1 by Blythe. So it's kind of bizarre that when you get games like that, sometimes everything goes right, everything clicks, players get sent off, and the game's got that. But we know from last year, and we knew from where Spennymoor are in the league, that it was always going to be a tough ask to go to Spennymoor on a Tuesday night. Just hope the weather's kind for us and the game's on, because it's a game that we've got to go there and we've got to be right, and we've got to have all the tactics right. We've got to have all everything's got to be on the money. All the set plays have got to be right, and all the quality's got to be there. And if we do that, then we'll give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Have you got everyone available for Tuesday?
Yeah, we should have. There's nobody come off. I think Elliot picked up a heel knock against on Sunday, and I think he missed training. And I'm not sure, he doesn't quite look the same physical energy, He's not the quickest lad, but he gets around, he covers ground. And I just thought that perhaps the first half we lacked his energy and his thing. But I think that, the lamentable thing at home for me is that at the moment the front four are just not connecting off each other. And when you play that shape, when I played that shape back in the days when we played with a bit more flow, and the midfielders brought the wingers in and the wingers come in, the full-backs out. At the moment we're struggling to connect as a team, and we're playing almost like as little individuals around the pitch, and we've got to build up those relationships, whether it's the 9 and 10 or the 11 and the 3 or the 7 and the 2. We've got to build those relationships, and unfortunately I just don't think the players are grasping all the concepts, and I'm certainly not going to go backwards and keep it simple because they can't grasp it. I think that what we want to really do is see if players can grasp it and take us to the next level and develop their knowledge and their know-how, because some of them have got tremendous physicalities and tremendous technical stuff, but it's the know-how and the thinking side of it that really they've got to move on with if they want to have a good career in the game.
I appreciate the insight. Thank you, Jim. Cheers.
Welcome.